Welcome, everyone, to Lunch with LeAnn. Today is Wednesday, August 25th, 2021. And if this is your first time joining us, Lunch with LeAnn is a weekly program that is hosted by LINC, a Center for Independent Living in Southwest Idaho. Our guests on Lunch with LeAnn join us every Wednesday to share some fun conversation around lunch, what access and independent living means to them, and share about important resources and information that may help you or someone you know in living the life of your choosing. And we do all of this in the first 15 to 20 minutes of your lunch break. And do we have a treat for you today? Melva, thank you so much for joining us and talking about your incredible project that you are working on the history of LINC. We're glad to have you.
Thank you, LeAnn. I appreciate it. And I love being here. Thank you.
Yeah. And of course, we also are excited to welcome back Fran, our American Sign Language interpreter. I will also note that these videos are available on YouTube on our channel LINC Idaho TV with corrected captioning shortly after our program. Well, Melva, I'm going to get in my marks so that our friend the llama is here with us. And me and the llama want to know, what are you having for lunch today, Miss Melva?
Well, today I am having a taco salad. I don't know if you can see it through there. I very much love tacos, and taco salads really are one of my favorites.
I am a fan of taco salads because you can make chicken or ground beef or ground turkey and just make a salad every day.
Yep.
That's great.
So I made it a point to have more salads in my life. So taco salads are right there on the top.
That's a good thing. And I like, because you can just put salsa for salad dressing. Have you ever done that?
Yes.
That's good. All right. Well, we also have to shout out to Melva for the fact that she's the first viewer to prepare her food in a way that she could display it.
Yep.
What's that, Melva?
Yep. So I can just hold it up there. Yes.
I have cleaned many of food crumbs out of my keyboard from doing this, but I am having chicken and rice, Melva. So I barbecued some chicken, huge chicken breast last night, and then I have some lemon rice. I'm very excited about it.
Sounds very good.
I may throw some lettuce in there and make it like a lemon rice salad because you kind of inspire greens.
Yes, that would be really nice, chopped up on top of some lettuce. Yeah.
I like to talk food with you, Melva. We won't spend the full 15 minutes on it, but I could talk food with you all day long. You make good food.
Did you cook your chicken on the trigger?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yes.
Yep.
Got smoked. Yep.
Yep. I love mine.
Yeah. See, Melva and I talk about food. When you know each other's appliances, you like to talk about food. It's all about
right. All about the food.
So, Melva, I am just so delighted to talk with you, and I'm really excited to talk with you in this platform and sharing with the viewers. You have been with LINC for 28 years. And when I first started in 2017, which is way less than 28 years ago, you were one of those people that helped me understand what I was a part of, And so can you tell us about some of your big memories of those 28 years of LINC? I mean, that's a long time.
It is a long time. And I have many stories to tell. When I first started, I met a group of folks that really brought me into the fold. They were consumers who met weekly, all types of disabilities, and really explained to me what independent living was and how, or what it is, and how they made through things through their life, and how they made changes, and how they made changes in policy, and how we would write letters and make some changes. So and that was about the time of the Americans with Disability Act was passed. We started a new program in Idaho within home care. The PAs, could start helping folks in their homes so they didn't have to be institutionalized. So a very good group of folks who brought me along to where I am today in the independent living movement.
And I will say they did an amazing job, because you are part of the group that is bringing me along, because it is really a movement. So the thing about a movement is it's constantly moving, by name and definition. And so it does evolve with time. Melva, those 28 years that you've been here, you've probably seen a lot of that evolution and a lot of that movement. And so you're working on a project right now, I think, that is so critical as we continue to move and grow. This part is going to help us do that well. So I'm not going to do a spoiler, even though I really want to, but Melva, can you tell folks about a project that you're working on?
I can. I'm working on a project to record independent living people who have worked in the independent living movement in Idaho. We need to record their stories. We need to know what people have done to help us through this movement. People like Kelly Buckland, I don't know if everyone knows him, but Kelly started in Idaho, just retired as the executive director for Nickel out of Washington, D.C. He has an amazing story. And there are other folks like Kelly who have made dramatic changes in Idaho and worked hard for the benefit of people with disabilities. And we need to record those stories. And so I'm going to be retiring at the end of the year. So one of my last projects is to record stories for people who have worked in the independent living movement in Idaho. And that goes beyond people who've worked for centers. We want to record people's stories that work for other agencies or who have just done things on their own to make changes for the betterment of people with disabilities in Idaho. We've made lots of changes in transportation, in home care, many different avenues for people with disabilities and open doors. So we need to have those stories told. And so I'd like to have people either write their story and send it to me, get a hold of me, and we can record their stories. And then we'd like to put this in a book form. Right now, we're not quite sure how, if we're going to do it online or just on paper, but these stories are going to be told. And even people who don't think that they made much difference, anything that you've done to help in this movement, we need to record. And we need to give kudos to those folks who have done things like help start Centers for Independent Living, wrote their policies and procedures to get them started, to open the doors. So anything that you've done that we really need to share with other people, this is what we're wanting to record right now.
Absolutely. And Melva, I think you hit on it too. While we are a center for independent living, independence happens all over Idaho. It really does. And so if you're in community and you've done the work to make your community more accessible, you're a part of the independent living movement. And we would love to capture that story, because independence happens in our communities, and Centers for Independent Living are the hub of those. But also, I love how you said, your story is important. And so if as a person who is fairly new to the movement, especially in contrast to 28 years, Melva, how does someone know if their story is something that should be submitted to the story bank? Because it's really what we're doing. We're capturing lives of people's impact. So, how do I know if my story is good enough for you, Melva?
If you feel like you have a story, it's good enough. We want all stories. if you just helped recreation group get started and you think that maybe, just you had a group that just met every Thursday or once a month on Thursdays, that's important to bring people together, to share stories and to share accomplishments is very important. And so if you think you have a story, it's important to tell. So I want all stories, big, small, and especially events maybe that happened that changed your life and got you into this movement, or a relative that may have had a disability that inspired you to make changes in our society or in policy. Those stories need to be told, and we want them all. And I would love to have a very large book when it's said and done, because I think everyone deserves to have their story told.
Absolutely, Melva. I couldn't have said that any better. And I think too, one thing you mentioned about why this project is important to you when we were visiting before, we can't know where we're going unless we know where we've been. So do you mind maybe is that kind of what you're going for with this project, so that it can inform the next steps in the future?
Yes. The Centers for Independent Living started in the 60s and 70s. First one was in Berkeley, California. And for us to know the struggles that center went through to get started really helps us form our centers and gives us inspiration as far as, how, they worked hard. And so as we work hard to make changes, how that all just kind of changes our future. And we want to acknowledge those who worked that hard in the past and bring them into and let people know what has happened, and to let people also know that we have laws. Like in Idaho, we have a family law that not all states have, and we need to be very proud of that protects people with disabilities with their children based solely on their disability. So we need to acknowledge that and show people what things we do have and where we've been, and it will help people know, what we've tried and didn't work, and what we tried and did work. So it will help develop our future.
Love it. I love it. So Melva, I think you had mentioned that folks can either email you their stories or give you a call, right? Those are both options to get in touch with you.
Correct. I can give you my email. It's mheinrich, HEINRICH at LINC, LINC, Idaho, IDAHO.org, or 208-733-1712. And we can, you can send me your written story. If you don't want to write it, we can record it, and then I can write it from there. And by the time this is all done, we may even have some audio recordings to put in our book and go from there. So this project is probably going to end up being bigger than what we anticipated, but that'll just be more exciting.
We hope we have too many stories for Melva. We really do. There has never been too many stories. So that happens. We will make sure they are told. Well, Melva, I want to thank you for joining Lunch with LeAnn today. And do you have any other final comments, or 28 years? Do you have if you don't have any final comments, do you have like a favorite go-to quick story for everyone?
I think probably one of the stories I like the best is we used to do a recreation program in Twin Falls, and we would take people on a flat bottom boat up to Pillar Falls and then come back and have a Dutch oven lunch I'd like to be able to start doing that again. That was so much fun. And it was an opportunity for people to get together and socialize and enjoy nature here in Twin Falls, Idaho. So that's one of my favorite stories.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time. I've never been on a flat bottom boat in there. It sounds like and Dutch oven.
Yeah, Dutch oven cooking, yeah. And it made it nice because folks who use wheelchairs could just roll right on and enjoy the scenery with everyone else.
Perfect. Love accessible recreation.
Yep.
All right. Well, Melva, I want to thank you so much for your time and so much for your dedication, not only to this project, but also to the independent living movement. Since you've joined LINC for 28 years, but I have a feeling that this has just been in your blood. So it's probably been something doing in Idaho since you were born. So want to appreciate you, Melva. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate being here. Thank you.
And for the viewers, next week we will have Shannon with the Speedy Foundation. So we'll be talking about some mental health and things you can do to keep yourself in a good place and reach out for help if you need it. So look forward to Shannon joining us. For now, everyone, Melva, Fran, and I say ciao for now. Have a great week.
Bye.